Now from the Weather Tracker TV Storm Studios, this is your weather today. Here's Chief Meteorologist William Cole.
All right, folks, here we go now on this Wednesday. Of course, it is hump day. We're halfway through the work week, and of course, we are really eyeballing that weekend forecast. But before we talk about the weekend forecast, we have weather changes out there today. In fact, out the door this morning, you may have noticed those. The cold front, as promised, it came through overnight, and it's definitely setting us up for a different day today temperature-wise. In fact, highs will be struggling into the lower 60s. A brisk, cooler northerly wind in place, and again, sunny skies continue to prevail as we go through the afternoon. But again, we've got a warm-up on the way for the weekend. We're going to talk about that, and then what about possibly an even stronger front on down the road? Again, we're going to talk about some of those details coming up momentarily as well. Now, this is what we did out the door this morning, your morning lows. It was definitely chillier for sure, not necessarily overly cold, right? I mean, 40s around the area. Winter jacket, winter coat would have felt good. Generally across North Texas in the 40s. None of the major reporting stations, at least, reported a freeze. In fact, really the chilliest temperature I'm seeing there is up in the Bowie area, up along the Red River Valley, down to 37. You can see our friends down in Hamilton down to 39. Now, radar's quiet. The front came through completely dry as anticipated. No precipitation whatsoever. In fact, the only thing that's showing up on radar this morning, well, it's that blue line. It's that cold front that again came through. But notice where it is. It's made tracks overnight and early this morning. It's now sitting down along the Gulf Coast. So looking behind the front, where is the chilly air at? And well, I can tell you the really cold stuff, it's still bottled up well to our north up in Canada. So again, we've got some November-like air now scattered across the plains. That's essentially what moved into North Texas, feeling a little more like November. But again, we can get blast of cold air this time of year, so it's worth mentioning. But again, obviously in this situation, it was not a blast of cold air. And again, temperatures are going to be in the seesaw, if you will, back to above normal. Like I mentioned, the closer we get to the weekend. And one of the reasons why we didn't necessarily get a big blast of cold air typically kind of locked up in these storm troughs we talk about this time of year. Notice where the trough is. It's well up into the Midwest, up into the Great Lakes region, definitely turning chillier there. So we just kind of got a glancing blow of a front moving down into our area. But directly behind it, look at this. Look at the pattern. We've got this ridge. We were talking about this yesterday building in. That's quiet weather. That's calm weather. And typically that is milder weather. Simply put, that's going to be the forecast heading into the weekend. Then we go into a bit more of a zonal pattern, west to east. Sometimes you can get little fast-moving impulses. But again, this time of year, what you're looking for, the big deep storm troughs coming out of Canada, allowing some of that chilly air to cool down. So in the near term, not seeing anything, but I'm going to put this in a fast forward mode. I want you to take a look at this here. I'm going to run you all the way through December the 1st. And I know this looks weird, but there it is. That's December 1st into December 2nd. I'm only mentioning this now. This is a long ways away. This can completely change, but there's been some pretty consistent data the last couple of days, at least trying to indicate we may have a pretty significant cold front around December the 1st. It's worth watching. It's worth mentioning. But again, obviously at that range, none of that locked in whatsoever. So rain opportunities. Now this will be over the next 7 days or so. And again, you can see for most of us in the southern plains, again, essentially it's going to be a dry forecast. And going forward in time, it's really what you see is what you get. Even cloud cover over the next few days essentially stays at bay. So again, sunny days, clear nights. That's essentially the forecast going forward. And here's the Climate Prediction Center, maybe beginning to lock on to some of that. Looking out over 14 days by December the 1st, temperatures may be trending down. We'll watch that. And again, precipitation opportunities about where they should be, again, over the next 14 days. So otherwise today, again, a lot of bright sunshine. Look at your daytime highs, a mix of 60s. It will definitely be cooler with that brisk northerly wind coming in. If you are making Wednesday evening plans, temperatures through the 50s. It'll be a lighter northerly wind, but still a little brisk. Keep that in mind. And then some more 30s, some more 40s overnight. But again, everyone, the way it looks right now, does remain above freezing. We begin to slowly moderate the temperature some for tomorrow, Thursday, back into some mid to upper 60s. We'll do more mid 60s by Friday. We really rebound the temperatures for the weekend. In fact, an 80 could be possible. And then we're looking at our next opportunity of precipitation, possibly by the middle part of next week. And then in about 11 to 12 days, we'll be watching for possibly that stronger front there on down the road with maybe an opportunity of precipitation there as well.